Hi everybody, it's Firestorm here. Right, want to do a review slash thoughts video on this particular film, ZooTropolis. Now, I saw this film at the cinema and I literally just got it today off Amazon. Right today that is, but yeah, so ZooTropolis. I love this film. Now, I love Disney as a whole. Some of the films maybe not as good as others, but ZooTropolis is definitely on the list of Disney films I absolutely love. Now, this kind of review isn't so much in detail going to be about film as it is going to be about this film's meaning and how it really positions itself as what can only be described as the truth of humanity. Now, basically, just a quick summary, this particular film primarily focuses on the character here of Judy Hopps, the bunny, and you've got Nick Wilde, who is the fox, out of these two. So, kind of like Predator-Prey kind of thing. Kind of coming together in unity. So, the thing is, this film represents, in a lot of ways, humanity's intolerance to things that are different or to things that we are afraid of. Now, in ZooTropolis, you have the city of ZooTropolis, which basically is inhabited by both predators and prey. So, carnivores, herbivores, that kind of thing. Now, even though it's inhabited by them and it's all kind of peaceful coexistence, the film itself heavily focuses on the concept of, you could say, racial differences, and even to an extent gender differences. I mean, in this film, in a way, the herbivore animals, the prey animals, if you will, are very much seen as, in some cases, are seen as lower members of society, where the predator animals, or even in concepts of the really bigger animals, not just necessarily predators but also prey type animals, are at the top of the chain when it kind of comes to things like business, you could say. And the idea of the character of Judy Hopps is that she's a young bunny who grows up wanting to be a police officer and wants to make a difference, and she becomes the very first bunny police officer. But she has to fight her way past, you could say, species intolerance and the views that other species have. So, you know, she's told right from day one that you'll never make it because you're a bunny. So she fights that and eventually does obviously become a police officer, even though from the onset it's obvious that she's not seen as one of them. All the other police officers are big animals, you know, you're talking water buffaloes and polar bears and elephants and big powerful creatures. And the idea behind this is it's very much saying that in the adult world it's a fight to survive. You know, in any business, any kind of job, you're always going to get the little people. And this is what this film's about. This film is about the little people trying to make a difference in the big world of the big people. And it's very much a parody, well, not parody, more like paradigm, I suppose is the word, of humanity. As I've said, as humans, we tend to judge those that are different. We will see them in a different way. We might deny them the right to, say, promotion within a job, or deny them the right of marriage, for example. ZooTropolis very much focuses on those issues. You know, it might be big and shiny on the cover and look like everything's perfect and joyous, but really underneath it isn't. There is a lot of prejudice. There is a lot of favouritism, you could say, a lot of judgmental things. People judge a lot, and in ZooTropolis it's very much the same. I mean, the plot itself goes around the fact that there is something. It starts off with a simple investigation. Judy gets involved in an investigation of 14 missing animals, and long story short, it turns out all these animals are predator animals, and they're basically kind of going savage as a result of a drug that makes them revert back to their primitive, savage ways. Now, in a sense, this results in mass fear, and the prey population, the non-predator population, start to kind of see predators in a different light, and as a result, predator animals are treated differently. Some lose the job, some are taken away, imprisoned, and that in its sense is trying to say how a person's race or a person's gender or a person's sexuality, even their own identity, can affect how they're treated and seen in the real world. And this film is focusing on that. You can kind of understand why this film did so well. And we do deal with those things. We deal with them every day. And realistically, as humans, that's our weakness. That we don't understand things that are different. And if we see something that's different, we tend to fear it, or prejudice against it, or altogether refuse to accept it. So, in this film, they're doing just that. Disney have created a film that in a lot of ways is telling the story of battling for your right to be an individual and for your right to be recognised for who you are and what you are, and not to face prejudice over that. So very much this film is a message, and it's a message everyone should listen to. So with this particular concept as a film, can reach towards an entire population of people and deliver that message. So ZooTropolis is a brilliant film, but it's the message behind it that really speaks to me, and I think speaks to a lot of people who love this film. I mean, kids will love it because it's full of interesting characters, it's got humour, it's got action, it's beautifully animated, the voice acting work is brilliant, but on top of all that, you've got this, you could say, subplot explaining the very concept of human life. If we can take into account this film's meaning and we can understand it, maybe we can learn and we can accept ourselves for what we are, and we can grow from that. Right now, there are problems in the world right now. We've got problems with terrorism, we've got problems with NATO, but hell, we've got NATO, Russia at each other's throats. You know, as I said, we've got terrorist attacks seem to be happening every day now. Sometimes it's nice to watch things like this and hope that we can all come together and accept ourselves. So maybe people should start taking a note out of films like this and realising we shouldn't be fighting, we shouldn't be discriminating, we shouldn't be judging. We should just be accepting ourselves for who we are. One species. We should be strong together, not divided through race or religion or belief or skin colour or anything like that. We should be strong together and accept ourselves for what we are. As I say, we're one race, we're the human race, so we should accept ourselves. So, ZooTropolis, I give it a 10 out of 10, brilliant film, people watch it, understand the message. Thank you very much for watching this brief review. Have a nice day. This is Firestorm, signing off.